Well, if you do not know, tonight's the NBA's annual draft, and it's going to be in New York City.
Yeah, how could you not know? We've been talking about it. Everybody's fired up about it.
Everyone's fired up.
Spurs are trying to put the right pieces around Wemby, and they could be adding a key piece tonight. Our sports director, Don Harris, is in New York for the draft. In fact, I believe he's in Brooklyn. He joins us now by phone. Don, the name we keep hearing, Dylan Harper. What makes him so good, and are they going with him with that number 2 pick?
Dave, I am 100% sure that they are, and what makes him so good is his size, his length, and his ability to create. He's a cross between Manu and Tony Parker. He's 6'6", very strong. He's really good in the pick and roll. He can get to the rim whenever he wants. He's left-handed, not a great shooter, but a good enough shooter. He'll improve there. And he's just a really smart basketball player. His dad, Ron Harper, the 5-time champion with the Bulls and the Lakers. So he's grown up around the NBA game. He's been on scouts' radar for more than 2 or 3 years, back to his high school days. In fact, he was rated ahead of Cooper Flagg when they were juniors. He's a can't-miss pro. Going into the draft last year, I'm higher on him than I was on Steph Castle, and you know how high I was on Steph Castle and how he turned out in the Rookie of the Year.
Don, Wemby wants to win now. The Spurs didn't trade for Durant. They don't appear to be trading the number 2 pick. So what's the plan?
Well, the plan is to grow year by year, brick by brick, and Wemby's down with that plan. I think that's a narrative that's been put out there by certain fans who've misinterpreted what Wemby really wants. Wemby believes in the organization. He believes they will win. They went out and got De'Aaron Fox at the trade deadline last year. He believes in what they're building with De'Aaron Fox and Steph Castle. He likes this guy. The Spurs have Wemby for 4, if not 5 years on his rookie contract, so I don't think there's anything to fear about Wemby getting impatient. I think that's Spurs fans who are a little impatient, wanting to be back in the playoffs, and this year I think they'll be good enough to make that leap.
Hey, real quick, Don, for years it was Pop and RC, and they made all these calls, and they ran the show, and nobody knows them better than you. Brian Wright is now the GM of the team. Who's actually running the show when it comes to the draft?
Well, Brian Wright and his staff, for sure, are making the calls. RC is strictly on the business side now. He is running the entire Spurs sports and entertainment. And Coach Pop is, involved. He's the president of basketball operations, so it's his final call. If they get down to a decision, it's 50-50. Pop has the vote, but I know Pop well enough to know that for years now he's been trusting Brian Wright and his staff. They're the ones, George Felton, the scout, has seen Harper since he was a sophomore in high school, in gyms in Florida and in New Jersey. So we're all new to these guys, but the Spurs staff has been scouting these guys for years, and Pop will trust their judgment.
There he is, the great Don Harris. He is in the Big Apple covering the Spurs and the NBA draft. You can catch his live report starting at 5 tonight here on News 4, and always follow him on social media. He is a chock full of information when it comes to Twitter, so check him out. Don, we'll look forward to seeing you tonight at 5, 6, 6:30, and 10 right here on 4.
Dave, always tickled to be with you.
Well, as we've been talking about, in just a few hours, the Spurs will soon have its newest player. And an official watch party is at the Rock at La Cantera is planned for tonight. The draft party is open to the public, and it should be lots of fun to see the picks as they come in real time. There will also be games, prizes, live music, and raffle prizes on the big screen TV where you can watch everything. We asked you on Facebook what you thought about tonight's draft, and there's some thoughts. Jesse says, the Spurs draft Harper number 2 and shop the 14th pick. Kevin says they'll draft 1 and trade the other. They won't take on 2 guaranteed salaries. The party starts at the Rock at 6:30 tonight.